I've been very vocal about my dislike for computer animation when it comes to anime, so it was surprising when I actually started watching a completely CG show last season. It was a show that I actually enjoyed quite a bit. It's no masterpiece, but it was a guilty pleasure. This review is going to be shorter because I don't have too much to say about Bubuki Buranki. I'm Banana Owns, and this is an Otaku Youth anime review. The setting involves giant sentient robots known as Buranki that inhabit Treasure Island, a floating landmass located over Japan. Migo Akazuki watches over the sleeping Buranki, but one day they start to wake up. She sends her children, Azuma and Kakuro, down to Earth in her personal Buranki named Obu in order to protect them. 10 years later, Azuma travels to Japan to go back to Treasure Island. He joins forces with a plethora of Bubuki users. Bubukis are sentient weapons that form the limbs of the Buranki. It's actually very confusing at first. So, Japan is controlled by a Buranki named Entei, piloted by the mysterious Reiko Banru. So, naturally, the series focuses on Asuma and the Bubuki users coming together to take on Ryoko and Entei. It's the typical power of friendship nonsense, but it manages to be entertaining. It's fortunate this show is getting a second season because there are way too many mysteries that are not even addressed. As for the characters, the show has a tendency to keep adding more and more. There are over 6 or so characters that are extremely important to the plot, and the show has a tendency to focus on the backstories of the main Bubuki users a lot as well. The issue with this comes with how much time it takes for this show to progress because of this focus, and the addition of more characters. There are about 10 characters introduced in a single episode after the previous episodes focused a lot on backstory. This combination created the feeling that the plot doesn't really move that fast at all. It's not necessarily true, but the feeling is there despite the large amount of progress made over the series. Ultimately, Ryoko is the highlight in terms of character. She possesses the most interesting past and the most interesting character arc in the series. Overall, the plot and characters of the show are not really anything special, but it manages to entertain. I like the stylized CG animation of this series. The Buranki and Bubuki look great in this style. The mechanical aspects are represented perfectly in the animation. The human characters don't move with the same fluidity though. A lot of the animation outside of the fight scenes is awkward. The character movement seems stiff, and at times the frame rate of these animations is terrible. It's like trying to run a PC game on a computer that just isn't quite good enough. The sound design is good. I have no problems with it whatsoever. The sounds of the Bubuki and the Buranki are very well done. The voice acting is great, but the music is my favorite aspect of the sound design. The ending song alone is one of my favorites. Overall, the animation excels in some aspects, but has a lot of problems, and the sound design is simply good. While this show was a guilty pleasure of mine, it actually wasn't that good. The story and the characters were forgettable, the animation looked nice in some places but had a lot of issues. The sound design, though, was great overall. There just wasn't that much there to categorize it as a good show. While I will check out the second season, I still give this my don't watch rating. I'll be back next week with a review for a show that I liked quite a bit actually. Thanks for checking this one out though.